Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, Devin Patrick Kelley, who is he? Well, we know some of the information about him, but do we really know? Do we really know that, yes, he was court-martialed from the U.S. Air Force, convicted of assaulting his wife, and yes, he was even sentenced to 1 year confinement before he was finally released from the Air Force with a dishonorable discharge. But do we really know who he was? Yes, he had an Antifa flag on his Facebook page, and also he has an assault rifle that apparently he used in the worst mass shooting in an American church in American history. But do we really know who he is? Rumors are he may have converted to Islam, but more, I don't think so. I think it's more about, was he a trained shooter? Was he demonically charged? Was he, during that 1 year of confinement, do we really know what went on with him? Was during that 1 year when they do the train, did they split his personalities? Was he the perfect candidate for this? Troubled, aggressive, assaulted, trained already. What really went on that year? Well, that's going to be part of the discussion, I think, today. And I want to know, does he fit the profile that Russ Dizdar would say would be these trained shooters that are, whether you want to call it the MK Ultra program or some other program to be used that can be triggered, like Jared, like James Holmes, like others. Some would say even Stephen Paddock. We don't know. But certainly it was demonic. And here's some of the information we do have. He arrived at church ready for war, wearing black tactical gear and ballistic vest, toting what authorities described as an assault-type rifle. Devin Patrick Kelley, age 26, opened fire on this small Texas church yesterday morning, killing 26 people and wounding basically all the rest. He had already went to the two gas station community of Sutherland Springs, Texas, with a grim distinction, authorities are saying. We're dealing with the largest mass shooting in the state's history, according to Governor Greg Abbott. And he said this in a news conference. What was behind the act of the carnage? What took place in the sanctuary? The blood, the slaughter. If you've ever, I'm telling you, if you go to the Bible, we were warned that this was coming, not just to the Christians around the world, not just to Christians in the Middle East. We're not talking ISIS beheading people and putting their heads on fence posts, or mass execution of children and piling their bodies in mass graves. We're not talking about ISIS or Al-Qaeda or Boko Haram or Al-Shabaab. No, we're dealing now with even a deeper, darker demons, and that's the black awakening of the last days. And Jesus said in Matthew 24, he was asked a simple question that I must share with you. He was asked the question, what would be the signs of thy coming, the end of the world? And Jesus went through a list of apocalyptic events, which we've been witnessing every day. Here's what Jesus said. They said, can you tell us the sign of thy coming, the end of the world, as he was sitting on the Mount of Olives? Jesus said, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. The end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, pestilences, earthquakes in divers places, and all of these are the beginning of sorrows. Now, we've been living in that era for some time. But then verse 9 says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, shall betray one another, shall hate one another. We're moving into Matthew 24, verses 9 and 10. It's already been happening in all of the Middle East, Syria, Iraq, Pakistan, I mean, all over, the Middle East, all over communist regimes in Russia and China, Cuba and North Korea. I mean, we've seen Idi Amin with the machetes in Uganda. We understand what Boko Haram does to the Christians in Nigeria. We understand what Al-Shabaab does to Christians in Somalia. We've been witnessing the horrors of Mogadishu. And so we understand that we're in these times. But now it's come to America. Are you saved?